Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by our patrons like FGO Comics and Drago66. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early, you can get this in audio format, downloadable, and lots of other stuff. And it would really help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
And the reason why there's a long pause here, guys, is because I would love to do a cool, hip intro, but because I talked softly, my computer needed to make my microphone super loud. And I really had to tune that down. I could not do anything more. I'm sorry about that. After that intro, I will go ahead and say that, hey everybody, welcome to this week's meeting of Gotchaholics Anonymous. I'm Omega, and I am a Gotchaholic. With me as always.
My name's Lucky. I'm a Gotchaholic, too.
I was going to sing, actually, to introduce the episode, but I decided to skip that because it was way funnier for me to talk about how my microphone was trying to kill me again.
Yeah. Everyone, I hope you're all enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Overwhelming Summer. And while we are here at Studio Omega, I'd like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes. We will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EN versions of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers, to go to Summer Comic 94.
Like all of the artists in Japan on Twitter.
Yeah.
Not just the ones I follow, but all the ones they follow, so they retweet a lot of stuff.
I'm okay with this. It just makes me very, very sad that I can't go.
Well, also because there's, like, once again, we've talked about this both on Let's Talk FGO and even on What's Up. Hey, there was an episode of What's Up that came out. Go ahead and check that out. There'll be a link in the end card. But the doujin or fanbook culture in Japan is so different than how we treat stuff in the US. Like, okay, yeah, so there's some porn, but also there's just vanilla fanbooks, and also groups like UFO Table and Type Moon and so on are actually at Comiket, right? Like, it's not just fanbooks.
No, yeah.
It's also like extra art books and stuff they sell, right? Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, no, like Nasu is there at Comiket right now, and I think he's like broken a record recently. About, I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I haven't dug into it. I've been busy like doing prep work for video editing, and I also got Mafia 3 for free. It's on PlayStation Plus, and I am surprisingly into it. So
what you're telling me is I need to also download Mafia 3, because I downloaded Dead like Daylight because I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll try that for free. That game always looked cool.
Like small tangent. It's fucking GTA, and some of the mechanics are wonky, but the story, oh man. Like, get it? And when you get to the scene where they play Paint It Black,
nice.
Magical.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit about music, I think, in this episode. By the way, in case anyone's curious, the song I was gonna sing the opening bars from One Is the Loneliest Number, so there, just set your summer mood there. That's right, I'm gonna be a Debbie Downer today. Actually, I'm kind of tired. I was up super late finishing What's Up, actually, so...
Really?
Yes, it took forever. We recorded for over 2 hours, buddy.
That's true.
But alright, let's get into it. Where the fuck is Ron?
Hiding because he doesn't want the world to know he has a shitty connection and can't play games with his friends. I might be a little salty. I said we did like one session of Sky of Hope, and then Ron literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
I mean, I still see him logging in, but yeah, no, he hasn't said anything, even though we've asked a couple questions in the tabletop chat. I'm open, as always, but I need people. Anyway, that makes a good chance to transition into Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. I'm gonna hit the button that does that now.
Senpai, 起きてください.
So it's time for Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips.
Alright, so this one comes from me because, guess what? I fucked up. But while it might only be temporary, log your event CEs during an event. It'll keep you from accidentally enhancing them or burning them while you're cleaning out your archive. I was lucky. I only accidentally took out a Shining Goddess when I was max limit breaking the few copies I had. And I was all like, I regret that. I wish I had a tip that told me in the prior to make sure I locked them.
Locking C is basically anything you don't want to lose, fucking lock it. Like, 5 stars are locked automatically, but we've had long talks. Everything in this game can be good. Lock everything you're not planning to lose. Whether that's you're gonna stick it in something or you're gonna burn it or whatever. Well, let's,
man, I don't know about you, but I'm like super low energy today.
They were both low energy. It's okay. We'll wait till we actually start talking about stuff, then we'll get excited. But first, let's move to the boring stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Records for the Throne.
Move the Throne, our regular achievement topic. So I'll start this off because, for a very specific reason, I have not been telling people what I have rolled over the past week because, well, for one, a lot of people like throwing everything I did around. And I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to brag too much. And two, a lot of people have been going back and forth on their likes and dislikes about Servants. I'm like, I don't want to be throwing my weight around in that, so I'm just gonna let that be. But it took more money than I'm comfortable with. But I did pull that Rider Mordred and Tumbo Lancer. And
in case you forgot, Lucky already got Summer Kyo and Summer and Mary earlier.
Yep, I got them last week. And I had told myself I was going to pull on the Summer 2 banner, but I have very poor self-control, and I did. And believe it or not, I was able to pull Archer Artoria from the Tim pools, and I was also able to pull Ruler Martha on a ticket, as well as Casta Marie on a 3 quartz YOLO. And as usual, I got a bevy of other servants, and now I have an MP2 Jack and Arjuna, NP5 Dion and Steno, and picked up an additional Emi Assassin, Rama, Atalante, Carmilla, and I'm welcoming Nitocris to my Chaldea. So with that, I have achieved all Summer Servants and CEs. I believe this means I unlocked the achievement. I'm going to call it, There Are Worse Vices, right? My name is Lucky, and I am a gachaholic. So I'm gonna justify myself right now on why I decided to spend so much goddamn money on this. The next time all these servants come out, the second summer event is gonna be coming out in a couple weeks.
And probably
I don't want to have to try to
anniversary will be sandwiched in there somewhere.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. The more I thought about it, I was like, no, I don't want to be trying to pull more servants in a time where there's going to be more servants coming out soon. Like the first year that these events run is going to be probably your best chance to get them without having to worry about literally killing your wallets.
I mean, there's no point of being coy. People know. Well, I should say that some people know. Hey, spoilers before we get into my follow-up on this, because it's basically my turn. But I did post the roll video for my Summer Mordred pulls. It's got almost 400 views, I think, already. So
you are salty.
Go ahead and check it out, right? I couldn't hold on to it. I was like, okay, people keep talking about it. I gotta fucking show the roll video, so I can't, because I don't want to ruin it, because it's a story, guys.
Yeah,
it's an adventure. I think I said if you wanted to make a 10-minute compilation of my best gacha reactions, you could probably get about 5 minutes from just that 30-minute video. Because you can. It was a thing. So, obviously, if you've watched that video, you may know why my mood is a little moody. I did reveal on Discord, though, I did get Summer North on a ticket out of nowhere, and you may want to ask yourself, Omega, how dare you? How could you possibly spend a ticket on that banner? It was the ticket I got from Archer Artoria's quest, her date quest, and I was like, okay, I'll be cool. I want Artoria Archer, I'll throw it on her banner. I got Summer North instead, that's fine. Meanwhile, let's move to Not All the World's Evil, but damn close. So, ladies and gentlemen, over 200 total Saint Quartz, actually close to 300. I was 110 pull shy of 300 quartz. And about $50 later, I have rolled no Mordreds, and basically no SR servants at all. I got one Setheno on a Sparking Spook on a 3 quartz, YOLO pull. I now have rolled 3 Tumbo Lancers instead, some fucking how. What the fuck? I know I did put a note in here that I would be upset with anybody who joked with me about my low level of spending, but honestly, most people have been pretty cool about it. The original point of this was I would like to say that Lucky, you may have noticed this. In fact, I'm sure you have, because we've had some discussions with how our community relates to us sometimes, but I do feel like sometimes people like to pick on us a little because, we're famous FGO YouTubers. We're not, by the way.
We're not.
But
holy shit, we're not.
does feel like people like to nitpick a little, like, oh, Amiga, do you even play this game? You've got so many apples. Yeah, that's how I have so many apples. I do play this game, but it's not my life, right?
No.
That's why I can only afford to spend like $50. Which, in general, like I said, I'm an anxious person. In general, I almost always regret money immediately after spending it.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't, per se. It's just hindsight kicks in, like, well, again, not to brag or anything, but our patron has started picking up a little. We're getting more patrons, and we're getting more old patrons who are upgrading because they feel more invested in the show, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I will recoup most of the quote-unquote damages in a month or two. It's not a huge deal, obviously, though, you know, that does hurt the overall backlog of the budget a little, but it's not a huge deal. It's not like, oh my god, I'm gonna be poor forever.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly it's a hindsight thing. It's like, well, shit, if I had known that I was not gonna get any SRs out of this, I would have just not even bothered and thrown my quartz at the second banner and tried for an Archer Artoria, because, once again, I actually quite like her a lot. Because she's the only fucking Archer that I can use for that one quest. So I've been using her a lot on support. She's great, guys. Oh my god.
Yep.
But yeah, no, so, like, I don't regret it. But yeah, no, some people pick on us a little, I think, but they've been fairly nice about the whole Mordred situation.
Mm-hmm. Me, I put one down, a bullet down for Not All the World's Evil, which, a new phone only looks farther away than ever. Literally, I could have put half down for a current gen phone for what I spent on summer flavor PNGs. I'm not sure I'm feeling buyer's remorse, more like buyer's fancy. It's like, oh, what? Oh, I could have done this with this money instead.
Well, yeah, that's basically how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, are there regrets? No. But do I maybe wish if I had hindsight I would have spent it slightly differently? Sure. But that's just the nature of the beast. Right? Like,
that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of gacha.
So, there's always next year, and after that, there's another year, and we will hope and pray.
As I said,
hey, who knows? Japan is coming up on they're almost at 14 million downloads, maybe at 15 million downloads. They'll do a free 4-star ticket, and they'll put the limited 4 stars in there, not just the story locks. And then I'll be like, well, fuck, I don't even have to care. They'll give me a free one in 4 years. Or 3 years or whatever.
3 years. Yeah.
I kid, but that's, you just gotta roll with it.
So looking at, I'm on a tangent here slightly. So looking at my roles and Omega's roles, like, and listening to some discussions that the community was having, is it better to say get 2 different SSRs or get 2 of the same SSR?
I guess because it depends on what you're rolling for. Like,
yeah, because
I mean, let's say this. I have topped myself. My previous record was NP2 Tesla on like 6 tickets. Technically, I think that's still a rare occurrence, but it was only 2 copies. I am now that guy with NP3 Tumbo. Literally, I thought about introducing the show as, hi, has an NP3 Tumbo Omega. Because other than full-blown whales, how many people do you know who have that many NP levels in a 5-star? Like, all at once? I have an
NP3 waiver, but this is like...
That's
well,
like after... That's like after a year of the game, you have gotten that far. This was in about 30 minutes. That's literally. You can watch the video. I get slightly annoyed every time. I think I even said with the 3rd time, I'm like, this foxy bitch is gonna steal all my luck for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like something she would do. But, like, the reason I say this is because I was reading some discussions, and people would seem to put a lot of weight behind a servant's noble phantasm. And when you only have a servant at noble phantasm 1, they cannot naturally overcharge. You have to hit that 2nd MP level.
Or there are some CDs later which give you overcharge.
Yeah. And so, like, a lot of people are saying, like, no, your SSR is kind of worthless until you get its MP2 so you can overcharge. And I'm like, no, that doesn't quite click with me, because... Yes and no. This is one thing I've noticed.
So let's say this. Some servants really need their overcharge effects. Some don't.
Yeah. Again, it's all about that servant flavor, like, which ones you have. Like, Jack can, like, MP2 Jack is fucking great. Like, holy shit. Like, she's one of the few servants I can actually get to a natural 200 charge. Like, any other servant, I have to, like, like plan and strategize to get them just to their standard.
Also, like, some of them don't.
Noble Phantasm.
Some of them don't go anywhere with NP levels. Like, hold on, I'm gonna double check what waivers is, because it's not.
I think
great.
it just increases the defense down. Like same with Steno.
All right, so yes, his Noble Phantasm increases the defense down each rank, which, by the way, is way more improved by doing his NP interlude, which I've got to do, and then Overcharge just improves his stun chance a little bit, like. The only better chance is once you actually get it to 500%, which, remember, you can't ever do naturally. That also has to be part of an NP chain or a, like, CE effect or something. So, yeah, no, his, like, waivers NP levels don't do a lot for you. Raw, it's just, so Lucky, have you done his NP interlude? Did you hear me, Lucky?
Whoa, Mega, you right there?
Yeah. Sorry, did I break up a little? I asked you, have you done waivers NP interlude?
Oh yeah, I have.
Okay, so you're at level 3 now, right?
Yep.
So with his interlude, level 2 to 3 jumped you from 40% def down to 45% def down. And the jump from 200% charge to 300% charge on his stun chance goes from 57.5% to 65%. It's not great. It's
Weak.
noticeable, but not super great.
Yeah. As I said, like, the
meanwhile,
way I
though,
look at...
let me pull up Summer Tumbo for comparison.
Oh, okay.
Let's do some math here. Let's see. So, at NP3, she's gone up from 600% damage to 900%, and her bonus damage from males goes up from times 1.5 to times 1.75. So, pretty good, not super great. Honestly, like the jump from NP2 to 3 isn't significant. So, like I said, the third Tumbo didn't do me a whole lot.
Like, to me, Noble Phantasms, they're game changers for me. Like, they're either the game changer or the finisher. Like, I don't go into a battle, like, saying, all right, I'm gonna get off my Noble Phantasm. It's like, no, I'm actually gonna try and beat these things with usually a combination of Buster cards or Arts cards. Quick cards that Jack's on the field, because, Jesus fucking Christ, it's amazing. That's all I have to say on this subject. Let's move into Skelograms.
Oh, actually, there's one thing. I didn't put this in my notes yet, but, hey, I did get enough pages to ascend my bar waiver. I now have a real 3-turn farming setup, because he has all 3 skills. It's fucking great!
Welcome to the Winners Club.
No, it's such a life hack. I am so sad that it takes such a rare unit that you have to work on so hard to get there. At least you don't have to level his skills to do the actual 3-turn setup stuff. Okay. Well, here's gonna be the big winner, I think, for the episode.
Yeah.
The thing that's made me thinking about what the fuck I'm gonna do with my thumbnails for like a week. I've got some ideas. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, so I'll take this one. So over in Japan, it is the Servant Summer Festival announced for 8/8. Something foreigner detected in Hawaiian Islands, but really it's an excuse for SABA Fest. So fun fact, this didn't click for me until like a couple days ago, but this event is literally coinciding with Summer Comic Cat. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, this makes perfect sense. Like, why didn't I ever think of this for a summer event? Why am I thinking like cruise ships and like stuff? Like, no, Comic Cat.
Well,
Like,
honestly, this is a combination of the two, right? Because you go on a fucking Hawaiian vacation, and also there's a giant Dojin festival there. We're gonna ruin it. There's a Dojin festival. You're making Dojins this year. Your circle is formed with
It's
Sean
amazing.
Alter. That's fucking brilliant.
It's a fucking brilliant idea, and I'm like, it makes perfect sense. In hindsight, I'm like kind of slapping myself for not like thinking of that possibility. But as I said, the welfare for the event is the 4-star Berserker Jean Alter in Massive Irony, and she is chuny as fuck, but also she is a lot more affectionate.
She's she's a summer servant. That's almost a given at this point. But she's super try hard. It's amazing.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's so goddamn endearing.
Like she's full of like Yu Yu Hakusho references, but also her NP. She does the fucking Chidori pose. Like it's
like her lines talk about
3
like
katanas for no reason.
All right, but the bonus servant list will, so far, include all the previous summer servants and the three male reveals, which were
Also, I believe
Robin Hood, Castor Gills, and Edmond Dantes. They got costumes.
And then they updated it so that it includes the 4 new servants for summer.
Oh yeah. Actually, right about here, Omega, I said I'm gonna start doing a bit. Right here, I'm gonna play the TVCM so everyone can see it. And it shows off Summer Jean, Meb, Ushi, Ibaraki, and BB. Not probably BB.
Yeah, I haven't edited some of these notes since before the event launched.
Mm-hmm. And also, there's an MHX in the beginning.
And the end.
Yep, and in the end.
Yeah, no, she's in a shot in both the ends.
Yeah. Note that this is like 5 to 6 actual servants and then the 3 males. So if this is the final lineup, that would mean that DW gave enough weight to the male costume / rated potential as another banner for the ladies.
Which it does seem to be the final lineup, as we'll talk about later.
Yep. So it was revealed early that Ibaraki is a Lancer, which is no duh. Ushi Wakamaru is an assassin. Thank you, DW. And John is an archer?
It's like they fucking know the memes. Her ammo is dolphins? ? We'll talk more about Summer Jean later. But oh my god.
Yep. But we have a SABA Fest pickup running 8/8 to 8/29, featuring Jean, Ibaraki, Ushi, and new CEs. And we have SABA Fest pickup 2 running the same timeline, featuring Dantes, Castor Gills, and Robin, and new CEs. Dantes also gets an animation update, and it's fucking sweet. There's a new Mystic Code for the event. Guess what? You're in fucking Hawaiian shirts and slightly tanned. And your skills seem to be an Arts and MP boost, Arts Star weight gain up, and buff removal resistance. 3 command codes are also, I think they're in the gacha, right?
No, they're related to quests.
Oh, they're related to quests. And there's a rare run, a super rare run, and a super rare run. And the male costumes are also derived from quests.
So yeah, there's no need to buy this stuff. And specifically, I didn't write this down, but I think I will double check really quick. But I know for sure the SSR one is your card applies damage cut 1 time for 1 turn for 300 damage. The 4-star is plus 100%, so double star weight on that card, which is pretty good. And the rare is 30% critical star drop rate on the chosen card.
Honestly, that rare one sounds pretty fucking sweet, especially with the quick meme revival.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're real good. Rip anyone who already started engraving cards with the shit that's in the gacha.
Mm-hmm. So as always, CE art is to die for. I don't know how many images I've actually pulled up of it because I've been saving a lot of images, but I'll see what I can share. And it seems like there is a points ladder event. You're at the SABA Fest to become a Dojin Circle, and the scenario has several time phases that you advance by doing certain quests and build various points to ultimately be your Dojin Circle power points, which unlock more main quests and other stuff. So I'm gonna modify this. So BB has returned as an SSR Moon Cancer summer version. She is, how do I want to describe her? Amazing?
Well, she's got a couple different looks to her, right? Like a lot of summer servants. She has a couple different sprites. Hey, in case you forgot, BB is a villain. First of all, don't ever forget that while Kiara ultimately hijacks villainhood from her in CCC, it's originally still BB's fault.
Yeah. From what I hear, this event, we're doing Hollow Autoraxia summer version where BB has locked the island into a time loop.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because as you do, your circle is creating dojins, which end up as CEs, and as you repeat the time loop, you get to create a different one, so you can collect the full set. So honestly, it's a pretty brilliant idea, and this goes again with the theory of the Lightworks keeps trying out new mechanics in these events just to see how they do.
Yeah. Like, again, another thing is that there's 3 types of points, which are increased by different CEs and stuff. But all 3 of the different points add up to your total Dojin Circle power we talked about earlier. So if you're only good for one point type, you can focus on that type, and it doesn't matter. Your score goes up all the same, which is really neat, I think.
Yep. As I said, Babibi's still a moon cancer. This is both very inspired, but at least good for balance. This means there's now two out there.
One's a welfare in an event that hasn't been rerun yet, and one's a limited SSR, but they're trying.
They're trying. And there's also going to be, there's also a couple other new faces out there, including a SR Saber Maeve, I'm never going to pronounce it right, who is rocking her swimsuit, and the SR Foreigner MHXX, also good for balance, also kind of crazy. Because this MHX is carrying Rongo, and has turned it into like this giant double spear while she runs around in giant mech armor.
And her NP poses are very reminiscent of some stuff from Notes, which is another Type Moon work.
Yep.
Also, she's a giant
And in
robot
case anyone is counting, this is 3 SSRs in a row by Wada Arko and 3 by Takeuchi.
That seems to be the real definer for SSRs, right? Like, we can be sure there will be a Saber face of some kind, and there will be, so far, a Saber of some kind, but now we do not necessarily have them each be the SSR. The actual thing is, one SSR a year has been drawn by Wada Arko, and one has been drawn by Takeuchi.
It's like they're like big deals in this or something. Also, which is also I feel is important, is we've also spotted new summer sprites for Knights of the Round and event story. And boy howdy, let me tell you, some girls have been thirsty for Summer Lancelot. Holy shit, the thirst is real.
Dad Salot went to Chad Salot with his fucking tan and his abs. Bedivere looks great with his fucking sunglasses, and he's got a shirt open.
Summer Gwaine is Summer Gwaine. He's not really like super amazing, but it's like I'm pretty sure like the moment he steps out into the sun, he basically is just like
super shiny.
There's
a summer Tristan sprite too. Hopefully Editor Lucky can like splice these in because I gave him the sprite sheets.
Yeah, I know they're kind of weird and they're not transparent, so they might look weird, but I'll see what I can do. But including all this, there also seems to appears what is a rogue Gareth-chan, who is super goddamn cute. Like, I was not ready for this.
Even within the full armor, she's great. I want to hug her. And we assume it's a Gareth-chan because she's with the Knights of the Round, but I think that she's only referred to as female knight in the story, but that might just be a partial translation from early. But yeah, no, it's probably because she's like blonde and green-eyed like Gawain, and she's just fucking...
Yeah, other servants are making appearances too, like you see Alexander. Blackbeard made an appearance. There's actually a the new Blackbeard sprite where he's actually showing up in his t-shirt and parents. And it also honestly makes total sense for Blackbeard to be there, considering if you've done his interlude, you went to Pirate Cat. So, yeah, apparently, I think Blackbeard, he makes a Dojins too, which makes perfect sense to me. I love it.
Also, by the way, we should point out why Jean Alter wants to make a Dojin circle. It's because Jean is there, and apparently hers is the bestseller. So naturally, she has to compete.
She's a John Alter. She's a fucking tryhard, and she's fucking adorable for it. Let's see here. Is there anything else we want to talk about at the events? I've been trying to stay away from like.
We're not gonna get all of them. Some of like the CEs and stuff.
Like I said, I'm gonna try and get in what I got. As they actually should all have been on screen right now, so you guys are welcome.
I mean, we can talk about the shop CEs are great. They're actually like there's a Hokusai one, and there's an Osakawa Hime one, both of which are in the store you can get, which is great.
Oh man, no, we gotta talk about how awesome the fucking Dojin CEs are.
They're
like,
also
I wish
pretty
I had them like pulled up right now, but a lot of them like there's one with Kiara in it, there's one with Anastasia in it.
Yeah, there's a lot. They're cool, but they're like hidden right now, so they're hard to look up unless somebody's giving you like screenshots.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when the game unveils the second banner, they will like actually start officially cataloging these, so it's easy to tell like what's what. And
speaking of CEs, I'm gonna skip this one real quick. Japan is releasing an art book called FGO Memories 1. It's releasing August 20th. It's a book containing higher resolutions of 244 CEs, as well as a timeline of Part 1. Covers CEs released from July 2015 to December, July 6th, 2016. Blech.
And we've got a link here, and there's some sort of limited edition and pre-order rewards, or just like go to a specific retailer reward. It's hard to tell because Google Translate. It's all in Japanese. But once again, another ancillary FGO product. Listen, I don't give a fuck about the miniatures. That's a lie, I do, but roll with me on this. Mats and now FGO Memories, please, Aniplex.
Like, real talk, there's just like even unofficial fan books of just art collections are fucking amazing. Please.
No, real art books are great. Also, I should point out, it's not in the notes, but Mats 5 came out.
Oh my god.
It's officially in stores tomorrow, but it was first available for sale at Comcat, so like it's from Musashi to Parvati, I think. So it covers a lot of EO Epic of Remnant stuff. There's lots of other what's not. Also, Lucky's like freaking out, highlighting the Twitter followers in Japan.
I'm like fidgeting.
It looks like freaking out to me on this end.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so also another point of news, the Japan Twitter for FGO hit 13 million followers. Everybody gets 10 sync quartz. So remember to follow your North American Twitter. Lucky made a lot of wiggling nouns.
Heh.
Alright, let's move into free talk. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed our lovely summer buzz for that, like, half hour there. We have different feelings about Chaldea Heat Odyssey.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell you right now. I started Chaldea Heat Odyssey 2 days late because I was perfecting my island paradise. And, you know, I do not regret it, like, at all. Like, I got into Chaldea Heat Odyssey and I'm just like, I felt the despair that you should feel in a post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah, basically, okay, I mean, you guys didn't see our first run of show notes on the first part of the summer event. I wish we had, because we could literally compare the two blocks of show notes, but like, I would say that last week, for our not even last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, the first summer impressions, right? That was like probably half a page, and then second impressions was still like half a page. First impressions for the part 2 of summer is literally like a third of a page. All right. And we're both done with the event, right? We're done with the story completely?
Yeah, I'm done with the story, and I've gotten all my gay bowl replicas and my CEs, and now I have to just, you know, farm for materials, and I'm just like, I don't want to.
So, our first impressions are probably going to be our last.
Yeah.
There are a lot less notes. That should
honestly,
let you know
like,
everything you need to know about this event.
Yeah.
I did write down that Tumbo is the devil, surprising no one.
And for all those who have done this, you know that you built a statue at the end, and until you built that statue, you can't complete part 2.
Mm-hmm.
This made Tomo being the devil ironic, because I built a Tomo statue, and when they did the Planet of the Apes reveal, it kind of made me go, so you guys just had this giant statue of the devil around?
I mean,
you don't know what to do. It's in ruins. Yeah. Also, I don't know if we need to explain the Planet of the Apes reveal. I don't know, like, looking at our survey, a lot of the people who took our survey are under the age of 21.
At the same time, I've never seen the original Planet of the Apes, but I fucking know the reference, and I'm only 25, so I hope, just Google it. Just Google it. Use the internet.
Yeah, it's because it's totally a callback to that.
Okay. No, there are a lot of classic references, I think, to post-APOC stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, God, it's out of touch, right? Like, it's
so lazy. It's like, I feel like they put all the efforts into making the piglets say weird shit, which, you know what, I'm kind of entertained by it, by how dark and morbid these piglets are and how they literally run with no edit function. But at the same time, like, you almost do like zero interaction with your servants. Like, anytime you build something, they will say like 1 or 2 lines. The pigs, each of the 3 piglets will say something, and that's it.
Yeah, so basically, all the post-epic feel is cool, but all the servants are way less involved, like in the buildings and everything.
Yeah.
The quests to start up development are way shorter, and it's almost always the piglets just throw out like 3 ideas, and maybe a servant likes one, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter though.
No.
I mean, some of the builds are funny. I built the neon building, for instance.
See, here's the thing that ticked me off.
Stuff,
When I first built the skyscrapers or whatever, I thought, like, you know, that style of building was just gonna affect how all the buildings look. Because I thought that'd have been cool. Like, yeah, we have a bunch of like Japanese-looking buildings. We have a bunch of regular skyscrapers. We have a bunch of neon signs and everything. No, it just affected that one building, and the rest of the map. You know, like honestly, like this is like more, you know, it's me nitpicking things. I did not like the art style of the buildings. I really didn't. They just look too cartoonish, I would say. Like, you build like a burger joint and you build a tall ass building with a giant like burger on the top of it, or a cake, or like a kebab. I'm just like, okay, cool. I know, so I understand like that's supposed to be a giant kebab shop. At the same time, it makes me think of something like out of a grade school game.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's obviously exaggerated so you can see it on the map, but it's
yeah.
You build the wish granting device.
I don't know.
It's a giant, vaguely grail shaped. By the way, I think it should have been Seihai-kun shaped, but that's just me. It's just.
I know, and I think I think fondly back to my island of my island paradise with, you know, my water wheels and the fucking fields and all that stuff. I'm all like, yeah, like I had a theme going on here. Everything here just seems kind of mashed together when I can't like make a particular focus anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of it seems like more references, like you can build a bridge. Obviously, I built the red bridge because it's the fucking Fuyuki bridge. Duh.
Yep.
So, like, there's a reference there and lots of other references, but it's not super great. I mean, like, somebody did a thing where they built basically a Stargate, right?
Yep.
Like, it's definitely a thing. It's a lot more reference and almost, like, meme-based, but it's just not got as much heart. And I will say this, due to the events above, I admit my summer mood was killed a lot for, like, ticket quests. I just didn't feel great about it. By the way, I'm done. I've missed my chance this year. Unless, like, you guys are gonna give me, like, $1 million or something listening to my sob story. I did a YOLO poll today for 3 quarts, nothing. There's only, like, 3 days left in the event, I think, even with, like, logins. Maybe if the master missions were super easy, I could get another, like, single pull on 3 quarts, but that's it. So I'm done for this year. And I didn't mention this earlier. I actually mentioned this before, but I thought to mention on the show. This is my blood oath right now. I am not spending a single drop of quartz until Christmas.
You're not gonna roll for Cleo?
Not with quartz. Fuck Cleo. Fuck Nero Bride. Fuck all those other people. If Babylon comes first, fuck Gorgon. Everything. No. Only for Christmas. I'm gonna save literally all of it for, like, not I guess half a year, but a third of a year. Tickets only. The entire rest of the year until Christmas.
Wow.
And I'm gonna stick to it. That's how I didn't need to necessarily save all that quartz, but that's how I got Sean Alter. That's how I got Mordred the first time. Just holding it all. And nobody mentioned how I didn't roll Okita, even though I saved like 5 rolls. But yeah, no, I'm holding on till Christmas. The game just gave me a free AoE assassin. I don't need an AoE assassin that bad.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's my blood oath. I've sworn it. I've already said that if I get Ishtar and Aresh, I will grail them to 100. Now I'm literally not spending quartz. Tickets are fine. If I wipe, I'm not gonna spend quartz. I don't spend quartz on AP anyway, but I'm not gonna do that. No YOLO pulls. No feeling bad about yourself like, God, I just want to roll. I'm like, no. No. Fuck you, future me. No, don't roll.
While the story was kind of like boring overall, like it did have its moments. Like Edison reveal, I thought that was entertaining as hell. Especially when Saber Artoria had to go up and fluff his mane, causing him immense pain. Skahawk forgetting how to turn the spirit origin back. That was pretty funny as well. I said the piglets had a lot of interesting dialogue. Like they were very dark and morbid, and you know.
And I wonder how much of that is the localization team, right? Like how much of that is them turning what was probably a dark joke in Japanese into a dark joke in English.
I don't
So
know. I'm
that's
pretty
probably
sure
kudos to
them
them.
reciting things about Cthulhu
Mm-hmm.
might not have been.
That was probably actually in Japanese already. But anyway.
Yeah.
But basically,
what
I've
else?
come to a realization as we're talking about this. The actual story quests were okay, right?
Yeah.
Like
the
the writing was funny.
interaction
Like
with-
you run in, Ku fell off the boat. You run into him on the island, and Skok is like, "Good, my disciple, you're here. You must kill 100 boars for me." And he's like, "Wait, what?"
Like, honestly, the reveal of the final boss, I thought that was pretty cool. It made sense.
Yeah, no, they tied it to
But
actual
something that
like
didn't make-
literal Arthurian legend. Also, it kind of makes sense because there's a half-assed reveal that
Yeah,
this island is a
reveal-
version of the Island of Skye. Never mind that it's the Isle of Skye is off fucking Scotland in the North Sea. Why is it fucking tropical? I guess it's a singularity thing, but still, like, I am glad that for like Summer 3 they explicitly say it's in Hawaii. Okay, fine, finally. But it being the Isle of Skye, which is a real isle, by the way, that makes sense that the Boar King got relocated there, right? Because he was presumably pushed off the coast of Wales or Britain somewhere and wound up ashore slightly north. So that's kind of cool.
That makes sense.
I mean, it makes it kind of a funny joke that Skahak was, like, berating herself in part 1 retroactively, only not really because she wasn't even fucking there, right?
Yeah. I honestly feel like they just tried to cinch it off with a nice little bow and tried to make a hot mess look a lot more pretty.
Yeah, they tried to basically make it all like, oh, it was super meaningful all the time. Don't bother with that.
No.
It wasn't super meaningful. It was a fun summer romp. It didn't need to make sense. None of the summer servants make sense.
Nope.
Especially going forward, so don't fucking bother next time.
Like, literally, you go back to Chaldea and it's like, oh, it's only been an hour. And, like, I was like, the scene I wanted to see is when you get back and Romani sees all the servants in their swimsuits. I want to see him freak out. That's the scene I wanted at the end. I did not get that.
So I will say this. This is our final bullet point. It's not just your imagination. The story does resolve super fast. That's kind of why we're saying this. The actual story quests were okay, but they were very limited. There was very little interaction with servants, and honestly, very little interaction with the piglets. They just perform their fucking Greek chorus and throw some lines at you every time, and it just
Funny,
it ends.
but got boring quick.
And it doesn't have the heart of part 1. It really feels like part 1 was the real event, and then they were like, well, shit, we've got like 3 weeks, we've got 2 banners we need to run because we can't put all these servants in one banner. Nobody will pull. They'll never get anything they want, and they'll just freak out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's a business decision, which is good. It's a player-friendly decision because they're not overwhelming you with a bunch of shit and you'll never get what you want, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like the writing of part 2 suffered because they're like, well, shit, now we have to stretch this event out. Because remember in Fate Zero when there's a whole 3rd week where you do nothing because you don't really need it? Like, maybe you needed an extra, like, 3 days to wrap up all your missions. You didn't need a whole week. It's like that. Like, the event is clearly written to be longer. It would have been more interesting if they had, like, all of the story was in part 1 and then part 2 was just, like, a lot of extra epilogue stuff, right? Not like an actual act 2, but just like, okay, so we tried to leave and now we came back and the island's, like, 2,000 years in the future, so you can do some stuff and, like, explore the ruins of the island you built, right? As opposed to rebuilding it a second time. I think that would have been more better.
Yep.
I'm hopeful to Summer 2 because it's a similar, like, 2-part event, but while the mechanic doesn't change, the nature of the story changes, like, between part 1 and part 2, which is, it's not a super spoiler because everybody should know the title of the event, but I'm gonna talk around it still. But, like, I'm hoping that there's enough of a shift there that it doesn't, like, burn out. And also because it's a race-style event. We actually talked about this, probably about a year ago when it happens, because we were doing Let's Talk FGO by then, but because it's a race type event, it's a bit like a raid, only you don't actually do quests for it. You do quests for it, but you're not fighting it, you're doing fights for drops and stuff, which move your team along. almost like a reverse raid, right? Like you're not counting down, you're trying to push your team up.
Yeah, it's a race, it's a competition.
So it's a little more, it's hard to burst through it, though obviously I'm sure our fan base will be a lot speedier than you think.
Yeah. Clairvoyance EX at its finest.
So yeah, that's our thoughts on good old Summer Part 2. We're not as enthusiastic anymore.
Nope.
All right, so
see, here's the thing. Like, here's something that's I've been thinking about. Like, how am I gonna feel when the rerun comes around?
I mean, well, we haven't done any reruns at all, but I feel like the whole point of reruns is like, well, A, they're for players who weren't there for the original.
Yeah.
And B, it's like, okay, we know you like this event, so presumably a lot of them are like faster.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, this isn't for the story, right? This is, I mean, maybe you can revisit the story in some places, but this is like, you're gonna get the banners again, you're gonna get the shop again, so maybe you can get some of the stuff out of this. And like, if you're new, you can experience it again. If you're old, you can just kind of, you don't have to like go whole hog, you can just relax and do it a little bit and still get your mats and stuff.
Because the rerun is still the full event, isn't it? Like, usually you just do some tweaks to it to like make it a little bit easier. But they don't like make it like...
Some of them are deliberately rewritten to be faster, like they run in a shorter amount of time. I don't know what the summer reruns are like.
Yeah, because we're gonna be doing our Halloween first Halloween rerun. I cannot speak. We're going to be doing our first rerun, the Halloween one.
You lunatic!
I will drink.
I remember the start of this episode, and I was like, Lucky was like, "I've decided I'm drinking alcohol today." I'm like, "Oh joy."
But we're coming up on our first event and our first rerun event, and I still have like my Halloween CEs. I can throw them on, get them quick bonuses. I only got my max limit broke ones because I don't feel like keeping like every single fucking copy of an event CE because that seems like
God, I know
it take up a lot of space.
Oh my god, do you know how many fucking Part 1 CEs I have?
Like,
I have a couple of MLB copies over of everything, I think.
Like I literally keep one MLB copy of like all my Cs. The rest get burned because I don't like, if I keep like a couple of just one, my brain says no, I have to keep them all. Then I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But I'm still gonna walk into it with an advantage because,
and hey, maybe
for
that's
one,
the
like
point.
depending, well, actually no, not for this Halloween rerun because it's running Tumbo and some other people again that I already have, so I'm not worried about it. You know what, whatever.
Yeah, the banner's not a big deal.
I have concern.
We'll see. We'll see how it feels.
Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, I'm already dreading rerunning Summer Part 2.
That said, honestly,
I've already went through this shit.
We talk about how we occasionally would like quote-unquote dead weeks where we can just chill and like farm XP and stuff. I mean, farming an event for the XPs is probably more efficient than farming the event, farming like the dailies for EXPs unless there's a half AP on. So if you want to just think of it as like a specially themed free week to grind XPs and stuff, it could be that. Like, I guess the question is if we have to take it quote-unquote seriously or not. And I guess we'll see when we roll around to Halloween. Also, I'm sure we'll get lots of feedback on this subject. Because we have veteran Japan players who have been through some reruns. So I've got an interesting topic, a discussion topic. I don't know how long this will go on, but I wrote this just a little note because I've had a very interesting thought about this. So I phrase this as, what's the community protocol on congratulating rolls? So I wanted to put this question out there because after my roll video, I got a lot of congrats and stuff, despite arguably not what I wanted happening, and my vocal emotional distress about it. I am clearly not having a good time in the video, right? Like, if you were in person with me, and I was saying those things, and you were like, hey, congrats, we might have a bad time, right?
There'd be some significant side-eye.
Yeah, there would definitely be some dirty looks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was still technically lucky with results in excess of probability, but I was also very unlucky in other ways. Like I got like no fucking 4 stars at all. Not even spooked 4 stars, just fucking none. Like 1 Setheno randomly.
You still beat probabilities, so that's still lucky, and you do have a super limited SSR at NP3.
I do.
So
but
I think
like, that's why I'm asking this question. What do you guys feel like the protocol is on congratulations? Because, I mean, I don't feel like it was congrats worthy, and if you're trying to make me, like, feel better, it doesn't really. Like, it just feels kind of like an obligation, or just like you're trying to pacify me, right? And that's just my personal experience with you guys saying congrats to me. So I want to put this to the team. Like, how do you feel about congratulating people on their roles? Like, do you feel like it could be condescending or patronizing? Like you're not for it? Are you like, no, if you roll lucky, you did something lucky anyway, congratulations are fine? Like, how do you guys feel about it is kind of what I want to put out there. I want to see if we can build some community consensus on this.
All right. Well, for my part, it's like, I think you should congratulate people even, like, you should congratulate people for the good things that happened, even if bad things have happened to them as well. You should focus on positive things, not the negative ones. That's how I feel. So I think me saying congratulations to the person is trying to impress upon them that they should be happy for what they have and not what they don't have. That's lucky side for you.
That's fair. Like I said, I wanted to put that out there because obviously, as the receptor of the congratulations, I was like, this feels weird. I don't feel like I'm in a situation where congratulations is appropriate, right? Like,
it also
I'm not mad about it per se, because I understand why you would say that, but it's still, to me, it did not feel like, this does not feel like necessarily the completely appropriate social response to this scenario.
Well, that's the thing about social protocol. It is very fickle. It is made more fickle by the fact that it's being done through a screen. You can lose a lot of non-verbal cues,
which is kind of a big deal. Well, hell, just even
like
tone and enunciation is super important in all languges.
Yeah,
these
that's
languages
why
are meant to be spoken.
That's why, like, occasionally, like, in our Discord, I have to, like, I actually had to tell someone off earlier about how they say things in a Discord, because just the way how they say it can give a vastly different meaning, even if the intent is innocent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be a little hard to tell tone online.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're speaking to you in a podcast that is available in video and audio format, and so hopefully you catch our nuance. Like, there's a totally difference between, like, if Lucky says to me, hey, congratulations, and if he's like, congratulations.
Yeah.
Or if there's like a, ooh, congrats, though. Like, if that was said to me in that actual service, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of pain, but also technically something good happened. But yeah, no.
Alright, let's move on from that, and let's move on to, so you didn't get that 5-star Summer 2 edition.
Before we get into this, I do want to just say, I've realized now how hilarious the title of this segment is, because especially with the summer banners, we have so many people, myself included, who are getting the 5-star, and they're like, I mean, that's really cool, but I really wanted that 4-star, who should be less rare. So
probability is weird, right?
It's super funny how this worked out, but yeah. I will tell you now, we're not trying to mock anybody, because that would be a little hypocritical of us. It's just, typically, when we started writing this segment, it was for people who, like, I think we first started doing So You Didn't Get That 5-star about Fate Zero, so it was like, hey, okay, you didn't get Iskander, but you got like an Emmy Assassin or 100 Personas, right? Let's talk up what you did get.
Yeah.
So that's the intent here.
So Summer Martha is our first SR ruler with a Gorilla Quick Arts Buster deck, Buster and Buster MP. Her attack is lower than her HP, but both are fairly alright for a 4-star, and the ruler has the advantage of being neutral against most enemies. Her hit counts and MP gain are alright, so she'll do okay on a Arts Buster Quick Chain. Her first skill is 30% MP battery, but on shore maps, you get an attack buff, so post summer event, basically never. Natural Body, C, gives her 1 time of the buff immunity and up to a 3k heal on a 5-turn cooldown, which helps her tank a lot. Her final skill gives her a 100% bonus damage against demon, divine, and undead enemies. This means her Buster MP can hit pretty hard against a decent cross section, and her MP inflicts defense down. But without it, she's not exactly going to hit hard. Martha gets EX magic resistance out of being a ruler. As I said, she's super fist, super JoJo. It's great.
Yeah,
like, I've tried her out.
She, having owned her and used her a little, like, she's very resilient even at lower levels because ruler. Her low attack compensates a lot for, like, the fact that she's got a gorilla deck, or rather her gorilla deck complements the fact that she's got a low attack. But looking at, like, the way her math cross-section's out, if you do use her as a beater against the enemies she's good at, she can definitely bring some pain, but she's, like, super conditional, like, between the attack buff being location-based and then her trait damage, right? Like,
Yeah, well,
it's definitely
as
a
a ruler
specialty
and
tool.
SR, I would definitely put her, like, in a front line, like, where I have my more heavy hitters in the back.
Oh, yeah, no,
Something,
like,
you know,
she's
soften up, because especially as a ruler, she can take that damage.
and like
and
I said,
start
she's got
building that
at
MP.
max level on her natural body. That's a 3k heal every 5 turns, and also not a time-limited debuff immunity, just one time of debuff immunity. And she's got great debuff resistance already, so, like, she'll soak up a lot of pain, and then you can turn that around into doing damage sometimes.
She's half tank, half DPS in that way. So as I said, she's good. She's not super great. As I said, she doesn't really fall super neatly into a niche, but I think she has enough worth that you can put her into a front line and get her to use her to clear starting mobs. But I definitely would not use her against a boss type for like any length of period,
Unless it's specifically like, oh, this is a demon, undead, or divine boss. I can, use my Buster Gorilla power on this.
Yeah.
So speaking of mixed roles,
So Summer Marie is an interesting character archetype. Her stats are average. You think her MP gain is low, but she's a quick arts buster with 5-hit arts card and an A rank territory creation. She goes fucking nuts with that beach ball. Holy shit, when I saw those animations, I was like, Marie, calm the fuck down. And she's like, no.
No, fuck you.
Skill 1 is Beach Flower, pretty typical team buff. Sparkling Sunflower gives you a decent amount of stars per turn and a little bit of a heal per turn, though on a long timer. Princess of Loveliness, Ocean, brings back her 3-hit invincible and also ups her debuff resist. Her MP is an Arts AoE, which lowers enemy crit chance and raises team crit damage. So basically, Marie is a stall crit caster with an arts focus. She meshes well with Rhyme and can be basically used to stall tank or help allies with crit. Expect her to MP pretty regularly too.
Yeah, this is very interesting to look at her actual kit. So she's got a little bit of the classic Mary tanking, right? Like she's got her 3-hit invincible, she's got a heal per turn, which also gives stars per turn, and then her NP does a team crit up buff, so it's like, yeah, okay, she's a caster now, so unlike the writer version, she won't suck up all your team's crit stars.
Yeah.
But she's not like a full-blown stall arts type, because she only lowers enemy crit chance, she doesn't have a lot of skills. Once again, because of the way Beach Flower works, pair her with males who can generate crit stars.
So, pawns?
Yeah. Also,
honestly,
Rhyme works great because they're both arts. Rhyme is also an art stall, and then Rhyme has that fucking self-modification to be like, okay, stars, come to me. Also, she's just fun, because she's Mary. Yep. Okay, taking a deep breath, because this is the part I gotta do. The new servants.
Oh boy.
Let's start at the top. Summerjean is a new AoE arts archer with the deck Quick Arts Buster. Her attack is quite low for being an SR, but in turn, she has the highest HP, a head above Arturia and Orion. Like, literally, I think she's got 1k HP over them. And she also has a couple skills to balance this out, right? Like, so you look at the low attack and you're like, oh gee, this is all tank. It's like, no, not quite. So her NP gain is okay, but with modest hit counts. Her NP itself is an AoE with a few hits which generates stars per turn for 3 turns, scaling with overcharge. It starts at 10 per turn for 3 turns, and goes all the way to 30. Okay, that's a lot of stars, guys. And it'll give her a decent refund, and then it supplies stars. So for skills, her first skill gives her a 30% arts booster and then 2 hits of invincible. They want a slightly long cooldown. Really, this is just great. Like, her arts booster works really great for her because of her arts focus. She can spam her NP a lot, and then the invincible just keeps her high HP safe. It's very reliable, even if it's only 2 hits. So skill number 2 is a 40% NP battery unit with a 20% NP power-up, and then a little extra bonus effect, which on water stages you get up to 50% crit up. Like Martha, this is like basically never, except in summer. But unlike Martha, she has 2 effects already, and then the water effect is like an extra one. So this is pretty good. Also, I believe it's, let me double check. I believe it's on over multiple turns she keeps the NP power up, like the Oni power skill. Yep, 3 turns of increased NP damage. So you pop it once to charge into an attack, and then the NP power sticks around. So if she does do some back-to-back NP, excuse me, if she does do some back-to-back NPs, she still has the power up on it. So it's not bad. And then her last skill is a charisma variant. It's a team attack of up to 20%, and then all good allies get 20% more. Jean is lawful summer as a summer servant, so it doesn't affect her. But otherwise, it's still a great team buff because, interestingly enough, the current servant roster is about 50% good of various types, so that's a pretty broad swath she slots into. And basically, look at it, okay? She's gonna want to use her NP, and then she gets 3 damage boosters on her NP. She gets an NP power up, she gets an arts up, which also improves her ability to spam her NP, then she gets an attack up. So despite her low attack, she will do quite a respectable bit of damage with all of her 3 skills up. Basically, it's an arts tank. Her damage can be quite high with 3 buffs when using NP, and she can generate a lot of stars in tandem with NP spam. While her water focus niche is uncommon, she's extra specialized there because she has the debuff resist and crit up passives, and also has the unique ability to get 3% NP per turn on water maps also. So she's got like an ultra special niche and then just a regular special niche. Jean Alter is the complete opposite. Her attack is higher than her HP and puts her squarely below the big Zerg sluckers like Penny, Herc, and Zerxalot. Like, she is just below them in terms of attack. And, hey, guess what? Speaking of gorilla decks, quick arts Buster, Buster, Buster with a single target Buster NP. Gee, I wonder what she's supposed to do. Her hit counts are pretty high as well. So, even with, like, only a little bit of NP gain and, the fact that she's only got 2 quick and arts cards, she can still generate okay. But, better you have some of her other effects. But first, let's talk about her NP. It's a big damage buster. It's got a big burn slapped on it. So at 100%, it's 3k per turn for 3 turns. So every time you stick that effect on the enemy, they're going to take another 9k damage over time, right? Pretty big. Meshes well with Tomoe, who increases enemy burn damage. Skills are where we get a bit more interesting, though. Like, just looking at her deck and her NP, she seems pretty straightforward. Her skills are very interesting, though. Her first skill is a 30% NP gain increase for 3 turns, and then a very interesting effect. For 3 turns, she gets 1 hit of dodge every turn. So depending on RNG, she can avoid a lot of damage. She will basically dodge for 3 turns in a row if she's only targeted once. The skill number 2 gives her an attack buff and then adds burn on hit for a few turns. 1k per turn minimum. And then lastly, she gives herself 20% buster off and 20% gauge charge, but costs 1k HP. With Madness Enhancement EX, yes, EX, this means she brings a lot of pain which can be felt even after she's gone. Like, you stick that dot damage on somebody, they'll be fucking hurting a lot even if she goes down. But she will crash and burn without meat shields. So yeah, she's a pretty effective buster type. Really good example of a welfare berserker. So Ibaraki Lancer, she's a pretty normal Lancer type. A lot of her stats are average, but we'll get into how they change that up. She's got quick arts buster, naturally. Her NP gain is pretty big, like typical for an archer with her deck type, but still it's big. So even with only 2 hits on her arch card, she's gonna get quite a lot of mileage out of like an AQQ. And then it gets better. Oni Power Water is like the regular version, but it's team attack up, self MP damage up, and then 3 turns of up to 30% NP gain up. So it really helps her keep that NP going. This has been translated a couple ways, but I like the version which is I will not go home. Also possibly I will return. Because in case you forgot, Ibaraki is also super chuny and super tryhard. It's basically like disengage, it removes her debuffs, and then it gives her up to 2k max HP for 3 turns, which means her HP goes to like SSR levels. The third skill gives her a big star weight buff and a big crit buff, both for 1 turn, and then it has a weird effect. I had to like look at this originally. It's like a coin flip. It's either 30% debuff resist up or 30% debuff resist down across like a turn or 2. I'm not sure exactly where, I haven't looked it up again. But this was like really confusing to look at. But still, you can tell then she's got a star weight and a crit buff. So you know what you want to do with her. And then her Noble Phantasm is a single target buster, which deals death ignoring damage. It halves her star gen for 3 turns, but also vomits 30 plus stars up. So basically, you trade future stars for current stars.
It's kind of hilarious. Honestly, the effects of her Noble Phantasm make sense, because basically her Noble Phantasm is to rush her opponent with her giant Oni fish, punch them into the sky, and make them explode into fireworks while she eats a treat. Mm-hmm. The treat changes over her Ascension sprites, too. It's kind of funny.
It's adorable. It starts as cotton candy, but there's also, like, is she eating, like, a hot dog in one, I think, maybe? Stuff like that.
Yeah. It's super cute.
It's adorable. She's got magic resistance and low madness enhancement for passive, so yeah, no, just use her NP and her skills to build up a lot of stars. You can cleanse her NP's debuff with her debuff removal, duh. And then just go to town. And then lastly we have Ushima Honey. Has the highest attack of any assassin of the 4-star variety. Has more HP than Carmilla too. And she's quick, Arts Buster. With a good NP gain and very high hit counts. Like, across the board, all 3 card types are high hit counts. Her NP is an AoE quick, which removes enemy attack buffs, and gives enemies a nasty quick resist down for 3 turns to facilitate that quick spam. Quick spelled with 2 C's, by the way. Skill number 1 is Animal Communication D, up to 40% NP battery. Second is her Summer Tengu Tactics. It's like her normal Tengu Tactics, but it's a 1-turn dodge and then a 3-turn 30% quick up on a 5-turn cooldown. So, anybody who has a 5-turn NP timer, she will dodge their NP every time. Also, that quick buff, though. And then her final skill gives her extra star weight, gives her debuff resiliency, and gives her the chance to remove enemy buffs on hit. That's a new one. Great buff. So basically, if the enemy uses an offensive buff, they're fucked. You're gonna strip it with her NP. And maybe any buffs in general she'll strip. And then she's got great passives, okay? She's got Presence, Concealment, Independent Action, and Riding. She's basically a complete package assassin. She will make stars, and she can crit on stars, and she can get rid of pesky buffs. She really seems designed with Scotty in mind.
Here comes that quick game. The quick game has been revived.
Scotty increases quick crits, specifically, and Ushi has 3 quick cards she can crit on, and she will make enough stars to crit. She has her own star weight buff, too. Basically, what Scotty brings is even faster NP charging and much more reliability and protection. So BB, Maeve, and MHX are data mines, but we're gonna wait until they're out for reals to talk about them.
They are in the story. Like, we've seen,
yeah.
I've seen Maeve's Noble Phantasm, which is fucking hilarious. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, she has a selfie string. It has some kind of effect, which is like nice shot, which procs as she does it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty great.
But as I said, we're gonna wait until next week.
MHX's animations are like crazy.
Yeah.
BB, depending on her ascension, BB's animations are also pretty nuts. She's got her original NP back. It's what is it, like Cursed Crushing Crater, I think, is her original NP. It's a little crazy. Look it up. But also in one of her Ascension sprites, the very Gyaru one where she's like super tanned and probably what people might regard as trashily dressed, she has a fucking pig as a basketball and she flaming dunks on people. What the fuck? She literally dunks on her enemies with a flaming basketball. That is also a pig. I don't know. Maybe it'll make sense in context.
As I'm like, again, knowing things that are going to happen in 2 years in advance always, like, hurts my soul a little bit.
But see, you have time to prepare. I know that I'm like, okay, I only want to put a token effort into Scotty because the fucking Summer 1 banner is my jam. With Jean and Ushi both on it. Perfect.
I honestly, the only one I say I don't want, like, right now is Ibaraki. Just because, like, I have not put time into the banana, so I am not sure.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say no, but
everyone else, I'm like,
that, but yeah, no, like, fuck yeah, give me. That's a banner. That's a banner.
I guess
no
I'll take
offense
over
to the
here
males, by the way.
for
That's a great banner, and if you want, like, dedicated summer male servants, do remember to at least throw a little bit of love at that banner. Delightworks is definitely watching those numbers right now. Okay. Like, there's a reason I think those two banners are head-to-head.
Real talk, considering that Edmond Dantes is on that banner, I'm pretty sure it's doing fairly well.
It probably is, and also it has its own CEs, and they're really good.
Yeah,
it's
so
a
I'm pretty sure...
5-star Arthur CE.
Mm-hmm.
And also your boy
So
Hans.
I'm going to take the reins back here, and we're going to do the Prisma Causeway mini pregame? Yeah. So, with no news on Prisma, but summer ending in a few days, we're going to do, like, a short version just in case, but look for expanded details later. So, Prisma is an Onigashima style event with its maps and stages, and raids on top of that. There's going to be an event service where Mash, Kuro, and Ilya get 100% damage. Mev, Rhyme, and Helena, and Medea Lily get 50% plus damage. There's going to be damage boosting CEs in the shops and the missions, which will only affect female servants, Dion, and Astolfo. I'm pretty sure we don't have to explain why. All the event servants are in a banner with a rolling rain up between Mev and Ilya, and with event CEs, which will increase the item drops. Story segments are pretty typical, like Onigashima. Expect to get a lot of experience CEs and team up with NPC Ilya. You know, clear the story to unlock Chloe and get probably one of the best welfare servants out there. There are going to be 5 main raid quests total. Unlike the previous events, they'll use 10 AP per turn. First raid is Rhyme plus a Demon Pillar. Raid 2 is Medea Lily plus ads. Raid 3 is Helena plus ads. And Raid 4 is met with Mini Ku-chan, which is like a mob version of Ku-alter. And excuse me. And Raid 5 is versus a boss version of Chloe and ads. Like Fate Zero and K&K, there are 100 missions to complete, and doing so will unlock certain quests and additional raid difficulties, as well as extra raids. We're going to cover that later. Missions will give you a total of 6 summon tickets, 2 lures, as well as most of your copies of the CEs and your extension materials, and spare copies of Kuro. Unlocking the missions will unlock higher difficulties of the raid quest. So basically what they're doing is they're taking two types of events here, and they're smashing them together into a new type.
Yeah. So it's a raid, but in order you don't get access to the higher difficulties of raid right away. You have to unlock missions, which are stuff like defeat X number of enemies, do X number of damage to the boss. But unlike like Onigashima or Rashomon, which were daily missions, these are just a block of 100 missions, like K&K, like Fate Zero.
Yeah, I said like that because like. We like the 100 mission kind of thing, doing like just, you know, knocking those out. And raids were okay, like once you get your damage up.
And
like,
honestly,
I have to,
these raids seem a lot less gimmicky than the previous two.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a 15-turn time limit when you get to the actual raid.
But there's not going to be no Onis who have like a special buff on them. You don't have to use
and in
like...
fact, I think the special mission conditions work for you because enemies may receive like a 50%... basically, you may receive a 50% arts or buster effectiveness up for a raid type.
Yeah.
Just automatically, no need for beans or anything. and then also the CEs add some of that effect. So it's a lot more balanced. I think the gimmick is that you have to basically use female servants, or Dion or Astolfo.
Yeah, so that means I literally have to finish up farming Summer, and I have to knock out my Book and Helena.
Yeah,
so
because they get the inherent bonus damage, and then CEs give bonus damage on other people. So I expect to see a lot of raid comps with MASH and then whatever damage dealers people get. Luckily, the raid quests give you an NPC Ilya to use, which is cool. As
long as it's well leveled and well skilled, because
I mean she's level 60 in NP3. I think that's fine for most of like the regular raids. At the very least, it's enough for you to get your missions done. If you want to talk about like high level damage grinding, probably not. But I think she's like okay. She is at least a damage dealer caster. Though do keep in mind,
well, as I said,
most of your enemies are casters. So
once we nail down what the date was actually be, we might go into a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Omega, what's our time at?
Let's see. We are at we're at just under an hour 20.
Well, we don't have a CE or Servant Spotlight this week.
No.
How's voting going on Patreon?
Let's check. Last I checked, it was leaning towards our talk about skills, but let's see if anybody else has voted. I don't know if we've gotten our full possible voters in. Let's double check. Alright, so there's only about 4 days left in the poll as of the time we're recording this. So if you are a 5 and up patron, there's apparently at least 3 of you who haven't voted, because there's only 3 votes total, and there's 6 people who can view it, so... but yeah, at the moment it looks like class skills, personal skills, and what even is a skill will win. But we'll see.
What even? I can't even. Story time. Oh, let's see, we're already past a minute. We're already past an hour 20, so I'm gonna skip it for this week, because the more time that this video spends, the more time I have to spend in editing, so...
Yeah.
We didn't write a meme of the week. Does anything jump out at you immediately?
Honestly, I think the meme of the week is just this episode and all of the banner suffering, because that's all people have been talking about this week. Is just
it really is.
Either the meme of the week is the summer event going on in Japan right now, or just what the fuck is going on with people's luck.
The meme of the week is summer. You can't see it, but I just did this big, like, arm circle motion, like, just say encompassing everything. I don't know why I did that. I know y'all can't see me. What the fuck, Lucky? Alright, so here's something that we actually have a little bit more detail on. We're going to go into master feedback, and we're going to talk about the first week of results in the first week on the survey. We're going to preface this. We currently only have 20 responses out of the 800 subs. I haven't checked that recently.
I checked it before we started, so unless somebody did the survey while we were recording, it's still 20.
But we're just gonna give you some of our thoughts on some of the responses, because we got, like I said, the responses are varied and some is very, very good data. One of our chief complaints that I wouldn't say complaints, but the thing that notes that they want us to improve on the most is that our audio quality is kind of suffering. And unfortunately, there isn't too much we can do about that and we can do on that until we consolidate locations. Because, as I said, like, I have a mic, Omega has a mic, we're recording through Discord, which already fucks up the audio a little bit. As I said, our connections aren't the greatest all the time. Like, honestly, like, 10% of the time, I have no idea what Omega is saying. I honestly don't. I literally just have to, like, I literally just keep my mouth shut until he starts, like, yelling at me, where the fuck am I? Or he picks back up again, and I have to guess where he's at.
And honestly, sometimes that happens back to me. I'm like, Lucky, are you trying to talk right now, or are you not saying anything? Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but once we actually get together and we, like, start recording together, things will improve a lot. We won't be, like I said, we won't be recording through the internet. Our sound will level out together. Yep. And of course, we'll be able to do nonverbal cues. Like, I'll be able to give him, like serious glance, and I'll, like, shake my fist at him if I want to talk.
Or like that, we can do the one finger, the hold on a second, or the I would like to speak, pass me the rock kind of stuff. Yeah. Also, so, we can
like, so once we consolidate, the what?
I say we can perfect the recording space a little. Like, it's like professionals who record have like recording rooms with like audio absorbing padding and stuff like that. It's a little hard for us to pull that off right now.
Yeah. But we do hear you. We wish we're doing what we can. I recently picked up some audio cleaning software. It doesn't really do much more than what Omega already does, so. But I'll see like what I can do with it. But as I said, once we consolidate locations, which, you know, it's kind of dependent on you guys, production will improve 100% easy. Now, this is just kind of a side note I had about the survey, especially when I well, looking at the data of how they first heard of us. I should have put a heard about you from Voice of St. Quartz option, but honestly, I felt that was a bit too on the nose, you know? Just like, oh man, but apparently a sizable chunk of you guys, like, if the metrics are, like, if I inflate the metrics to, you know, 800 subs, probably a good size of you guys came over from Voice of St. Quartz, and while I love the guy, even if he picks on me occasionally, it's like, goddamn. Also, who is Zero Sanity? We had one guy said they heard about us from a person named Zero Sanity. I'm like, who is this? If anyone knows,
I know they are another FGO YouTuber, and I believe Zero Sanity is famous for weird burning servants rituals, which is why I do not follow them at all.
Oh.
No offense to Zero Sanity, just that's not our speed, guys. We've talked about that before. It may also.
I don't like. You know me. I'm not even gonna go into it. But apparently, like, as I said, for someone who like, I find this weird. Apparently, we're like well known among like the famous YouTubers, but we're not famous ourselves. We're like this weird underdog YouTube channel. I don't get it. Like, I honestly don't. We're definitely hearing you on those lore and list videos, and I'll put some serious thought into me doing something personally, like maybe how Omega does the higher rarity ones. Maybe I can lock out some lower rarities and, you know, put my own personal spin on them, add some lore, and I can make some, I guess I could say, parody list videos. Like, I joke a lot about doing Lucky's top 5 waifus, top 10 waifus, which would be just be gushing about like what servants I like and why. That could be fun. That might get us 100 views.
Tamamo, and Tamamo. Wait, no, the last
Actually,
one is
it'd probably be
Tamamo cat.
Probably. Omega wrote this one, but I'm gonna read it anyway. We see people asking about streams. We can try and do more, but remember that actually means you need to watch the streams. Like, they aren't always super popular, and we can't waste a long time doing stream for minimal views. Because remember, anytime we're doing a stream, we basically are like saying, all right, I'm not going to do anything but this for that amount of time.
If I stream for an hour, I am only streaming for an hour, right?
Yeah.
So
it also means you have to put up with our...
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
It also means you have to put up with our hardware and software setups. So I am going to be picking up a capture card here in the next month. That much is guaranteed. Like, probably in the next couple weeks. That's my plan. Next month, I'm going to try and get a new phone. So I can, like, I was originally getting that to do Let's Plays. Because as I said, like, I'm playing Dead Space right now. I'm probably like halfway through it. Maybe a little, I'm more than halfway through it, I would say. And once I wrap that up, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll try to pick up a game coming out and do that. But I could also use that for streams. I could also do art streams. Because I still need to finish Brave Liz, because I've just been super depressed and not wanting to art. Because I feel... Let's not get into Lucky's mental depression and shit.
That's for that's what WhatsApp is for.
Yeah. But we need you, like, if you want us to do streams, you have to participate in, like, streams. We, like, don't have a big stream following. Like, fun fact, like, when, for the thing of what people, like, the favorite thing, like, 95% of them said, let's talk FGO. The remaining 5% said the wanted videos. So, apparently you guys don't really watch us for streams and Let's Plays as a whole.
Though we have a decent mix of split on whether or not people care about seeing more Let's Plays on our channel, which I think is good. And that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll say this. We've said this before. Diversity is important. Your content will dead end if you're only known for one specific thing. Like, even Voice, not only does he do his analysis / list type videos, but also he streams. And sometimes he streams art, not just gameplay, right? Like, he does a couple different things with FGO in Variety. And we do a couple different things in Variety as well. And I'll
Like,
be
I
looking
wouldn't
to
mind-
like double check maybe some more capture software that runs better than just the YouTube app and stuff like that. But like I said,
if you guys give me a month, I'll get a new phone and I can stream me playing that and screaming and Velociraptor screeching at shit. But as I said, these things cost money, and as I said, we're almost entirely self-funded at right now. It's like
Right.
Patreon, you do help to take off the edge, but it was actually I remember I said this when we got our Patreon money this month. Omega says, like, for render services, here is your cut. And my immediate response was, all right, awesome. I'll go spend this on waifus. And I did. So, Lucky is not a paragon of financial responsibility. I hate to say this, but it's true. So,
I believe I have spent more on technically business expense than I have on just buying quartz. But yeah, no, I mean, that's the joke is that's kind of what it started for. Is like, hey, we need to be able to sustain ourselves at this. So. That includes being able to make
we're getting
dispensable
close.
purchases.
We're inching closer to that 1,000 subs. Like, actually, once we like hit that 1,000 subs, like, actually, do you actually know how much like ad revenue will generate?
Honestly, no idea. Like, I'm not entirely sure. I can look and guess. I don't know if there's like an ad revenue calculator. It should be. Well, basically, I'll say this: Google will only pay us out in $100 at a time minimum. So. I have been told that is you should be making enough to actually get paid at the 1,000 subs level. So, depending on how quickly that fills, we may actually be making, a couple $100 a pop for a while and more. I'll see if I can do some number crunch on that. But it would help us out. It would supplement us a lot.
It would supplement us a lot.
But at the same time, the ad rev is highly dependent on whether or not our stuff is quote-unquote advertiser friendly and all that, and like views and other stuff. So like there's a system to that too.
I said, like, hopefully this has been showing up all throughout the video, but I'm trying to do more editing for this. At the very least, I'm gonna be putting in some simple backgrounds, posting some simple images, maybe a video or two, and background music. Like I said, unfortunately, here's the thing though, me working on things takes time, and then I have to render that video and then upload it to YouTube, so it might come out a little bit later. I don't know why I'm saying this, because like no one's like, I think Axum is listening live, no one else is, but
yeah, and patrons will get the audio early, and some of them might hunt for the video. But if you see this and this video was a little bit later,
that's because I have to like work on it maybe over 1 or 2 days to get it up to par. I'm probably gonna have to set like a specific timeline. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set me as like a time limit, set a time limit of I work on it this much. Like before I'm gonna work on it as long as it takes me before I go to bed, so I can so I can render it and upload it, and when I wake up, upload it to YouTube. So I can try and get it out sooner. So if it looks like I did a lot of work at the beginning, but it kind of tapers off at the end, it's because I literally ran out of time.
Oh, and that's fine. We probably haven't been saying stuff that's super engaging, like visually, for a while.
Yeah. So, like as I said, like so, if you like I said, we're gonna try and do this because that's something that people did mention is they want something more visually. What's the word I want to say? Attractive, eye-catching.
Yeah, or just more visual aids. Which
more visual
before
aids.
you volunteered to do it, I was gonna say we can do, but that means you guys have to be aware. That means that videos might be produced a little slower because that takes fucking time. It already takes us hours to just, like, don't think I'm doing the way videos used to be just because they're lazy, where I just, like, throw up, like, one static image. That's just because that is the most efficient, quickest way we can get stuff out possible, and that already takes fucking hours, right?
Yeah. So, as I said, I'm gonna try. It's gonna be, there will be an improvement from how we previously do things. How much, we will see. I will probably be, I'll probably at least put a minimum 8 hours into editing. Minimum. I'm gonna be blasting my fucking jams. I'm gonna be drinking my energy drinks. I'll probably be taking like hour breaks every couple hours because Jesus fucking Christ, I can't focus for that long. I'm sorry, people. I have ADD. I can't do it.
By the way,
but we are bringing.
We are. This off mic.
We are bringing you higher quality content.
We're working on it. All right, so that's the end of the show. Let's wrap up.
Whee!
So, if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments on anything, go ahead and leave those in the comment section down below. Very important. We love comments.
Yeah.
And you can also comment on our Discord. That link is in the description of the video. And if you are new here and have not already, please subscribe. Best way to keep track of our content. Also, don't forget to hit the bell, even if you already subscribed, so you get notifications so you know exactly when we post a video. Like, just in case, for instance, this video didn't come out on the day it normally comes out. So, hey, how would you know otherwise? And lastly, of course, you can support us on Patreon. You are directly supporting us when you do that. You are helping us build our budget to make the show better. And you get access to cool perks, like we said at the front of the show. That's about everything. So, hey, let's leave off and go jump into writing better content.
I'm gonna go get me a headband that says "fight" on it.